Let me tell you a story about when God totally used this situation in my life to affirm my value as his child. This story is a little incredulous and unbelievable, but let me share it with you because it actually happened. And so I was living in Kentucky at the time, in seminary, so it's very religious. I was meditating on Matthew chapter 12, verses 11 to 12 one morning, randomly. And this is what it says. If any of you so it's from the parallel text in Matthew's version, but Luke does not include this part of it. So this is part of what he says to the Pharisees. If any of you has a sheep and it falls into a pit on the Sabbath, will you not take hold of it and lift it out? How much more valuable is a man than a sheep? Therefore, it is lawful to do good on the Sabbath. So I was meditating on that very verse one morning about the value. Jesus basically says, hey, look, you guys would take a sheep out of a pit, right? If it was going to die, you would totally do that. So what's more valuable, a sheep or a person? And he says, well, obviously. So he says, stretch out your hand. So that's the full story. Same person, same scenario, just more detail here. So a friend of mine and some at this church, Billy Henderson, and I went on a road trip from Lexington, Kentucky to Paducah, Kentucky. I think it's about a 3-hour trip. Kentucky's about as long as Tennessee, so it can take a while. So we're driving in his truck, and we have a good conversation there. And our mission was to go to his father's house, get this enormous tractor, put it on the trailer behind our truck, and just take it back to Lexington. So I thought, all right. I wanted some FaceTime with Billy, and he said, hey, you want to come with me on this trip? I said, great. I fully trust you. This will be a great time to just have some good, windshield time and talk. So we get there, and I am astounded by the enormity of this tractor. So his dad was a farmer. He was out there in Kentucky. I mean, it was in Kentucky. And we get to the farm, and it's like, wow, Billy, I really believe you have good judgment, but I don't feel it right now because on that tractor trailer, the trailer bed, so it's a pickup truck. Now, it's a hefty pickup truck, but I was just kind of feeling the weight of the situation. So Billy and I loaded up, and I'm telling you, it comes on this thing, and it was like, rocking before we're even moving. It's like, all right, Billy, I do trust you, sir. So we get on the road. We're on the highway, and I was very interested in real estate investment at the time. So he was sharing with me a lot of his knowledge and understanding as we go, get on the interstate, and we're driving. And right as we start getting around 50 miles an hour, 60 miles an hour, we were so busy talking about real estate that we forgot about the real estate on the back of our tractor trailer, and it was too late. If you've been in this situation, sometimes things can get out of control. So we start, kind of doing this thing a little bit on the highway, and he goes, Chad, hang on, we're going to crash. And so I grabbed on up here, and I grabbed on right here, and I still didn't believe him that we were going to crash because it was so subtle. And then he just says out loud, Jesus, save us. And all of a sudden, it goes way out of control, and we start 60 miles an hour going down a 2-lane highway, spinning out of control with this massive real estate of a tractor on the back of our trailer with a pretty wimpy truck, and we're out of control. We start weaving back and forth. We go down into the grassy median, and all of a sudden, we're just sitting there. Did that just happen? And we look back, and the tractor was like at an angle behind us. No one had been hurt, no one had been killed, and everything was still intact. We got out like shaking, and I was like, Jesus just saved us. We looked at the truck in the back right corner had been pierced by the trailer, meaning it had completely jackknifed to a complete 90 degree, going 60 miles an hour on the highway, and we survived it without a scratch. And I found myself in a pit. how much more valuable is the life of a person to God than a sheep? And I thought, whoa, very valuable. And sometimes it takes a little bit of a wake-up call to realize just how valuable a person is to God. Just how valuable you are to God. You are so incredibly valuable to God. And He cares about you immensely.